Hi, I'm Rohan Deshpande, and this is my video journal for the Laramie Project. One thing I found pretty interesting about this play was that people in their interviews, they let their names be given publicly, as if they didn't really mind how other people know how they feel. One value in this dramatic world was that citizens of Laramie, they think this tragic event ruins their town. They want to distance themselves from it. Like Zubaydah Ullah, the Muslim woman, after the vigil, she speaks against people in Laramie who were saying that this isn't a town where this would happen. And obviously it is. So they should own up to what happened. Also, lots of people, they didn't want to be jurors for Aaron Henderson's case because they didn't want to be involved in the case at all. I feel like it emphasized how, despite tragedy, people don't want to take action for change or for justice. Also, very conservative people, they openly think homosexuality is wrong. Like Fred Phelps, he protests Matthew's funeral for his belief that being gay is wrong. Jedediah Schultz, his parents didn't want to see his scholarship performance because it was about a play that had been homosexuality, and then they think it's wrong too. So this really highlights the difference between beliefs in people in the same town, and this possible tension and hostility towards homosexuals contributes to what happened to Matthew. Regarding this, one thing I didn't understand was that the Baptist minister was very against homosexuality, but the other reverends weren't. And so apparently Baptists are very strict and set in their stance against homosexuality all throughout their congregations. They take the word of God very seriously, like the Reverend does, and he even preaches that this is a sin all the time. He even says that while Matthew was dying on the fence, that he should have reflected on how he lived his life, and which was wrong in his eyes. And this is a very harsh thing to say, especially with what happened to Matthew. So Laramie, it's a small town where everybody knows everybody for a long time. Like Zubaydah Ullah even says, like, you go to the grocery store, you see 5 or 6 people that you know every time. It's a beautiful place. Like, you see the stars at night. People will leave Laramie. They say they miss it a lot. People keep to themselves more than you'd think. And there's a lot of secrets. Like, there's more homosexuals in Laramie than you would expect. So you really got to dig deep to find out what's really going on. In this play, tolerance and acceptance are different. Like, the motto in Laramie is live and let live. As if, let's just say that people don't mind gays as long as they don't bother them. This is purely tolerance. This is not acceptance. And it's been emphasized in the play that the homophobic atmosphere of Laramie contributed to this tragedy with this tolerance. They have to be accepting of homosexuality to really make a change here. I feel like the Tectonic Theater Project, they want us to understand how bigotry and discrimination, how they plague us and how they lead to these horrible events. We need to be more aware and more accepting to be better people. And I think this brutal murder wouldn't happen in Columbus, honestly, because we have a bigger atmosphere of acceptance. We're more educated on like the differences of people, especially in homosexuality, and we openly condemn discrimination against people on top of that. This play, its storytelling was different from an Intimate Apparel. There's a lot of character in this play. Intimate Apparel only had a few. This basically sets up Laramie in front of you, and you can see the people telling their stories, and you can get a sense of what the entire community feels on this situation. Also, this play, it jumps around from point to point to tell like mini stories of people. These are called the moments in the play. And Intimate Apparel had like a linear progression of events. And I feel like in the Laramie Project, multiple events together have their own meaning. And they don't really build off of each other, but they can juxtapose things. So, like, you have, like, a moment where you have, like, tolerant people, and you have, like, intolerant people. So it really shows, like, the varying degrees of acceptance in the town. Also, this play happens over a long period of time, several years. Intimate Apparel doesn't span nearly that long. It shows, like, the progression and possible change over time of attitudes of characters as it really sinks in what happened to Matthew over this time. One question I have was, do you think Dennis Shepard, Matthew's father, do you think that he did the right thing to let Aaron live? Is that what Matthew really would have wanted? And also, do you think that Russell Henderson really felt remorse for what he did to Matthew, or was he just saying that to look good in court before he was about to go to prison for life? Something to think about.